Hello, hello, hello. Hello, can you hear me? I think maybe you can, uh, if you can hear me, you can press the number one in the chat box in the keyboard. Yeah, yeah. Let me see how many people are there. Okay, okay. Thank you all. Okay, it's the time to begin the training. So, uh, let's have today's training. So let's give a self introduction. This is Jerry, the pre-sale solution consultant of FanRuan. So today I will give an online training of FVS. So this training will last for about 2 hours. And during this training, I will tell you what is FVS and what can FVS do. So this training have four sections, and the first section is the introduction of FVS. I will tell you what is FVS, and the section two is the interactive attribute of the FVS, and section three is the multi-page design of FVS, and the fourth section is the 3D component of FVS. So first, I will give you the introduction. Uh, I will give you the introduction of FVS. So what is FVS? FVS is so first it's a plugin in FineReport. It's a new feature in FineReport version 11. So you can be install it in the plugin management from the FanRuan from the FanRuan community. So this plugin or the edit mode is focused on the large screen scenarios. So we are aiming to provide a more convenient and professional product. We want making the data visualization on the large screen simpler. So if you want to design or develop a template in FS, there are about 4 steps. The first step is we need to do the preparation. The second is FS design. The third is the development. The fourth is FS preview. So before we making the template of FS, I want to give some demo introduction of how FS works and what can the FS do with some demo online. So let's with the first demo. This is a multi-page template. We call it the annual report. This is a pagination function of the major advantage of FS. So let's have a look at the demo annual report. I have already opened with in the decision-making platform. I think maybe you can keep this website on your bookmark, and once if you want to see some demo and have a look with the effect of some demo, you can open it and open the demo you want to you need. You can have a look, have the effect. So we can begin with the first annual report. As you can see, this is a presentation of the 2022 work report. So this is the main page. What's the multiple page? you can see this is the first page. And if you click the button or you press the key in the keyboard, you can turn to the next page. Every page is a real dashboard. The page 2 is the content. The fourth achievement, a fourth company, and the financial, the sales, the operating, the production, and the changes in target values and staff situations. Okay, we can keep on with the pagination, the outstanding achievement, and then the last page. So we can see you can with this manual with this multiple page, we can integrate all the dashboard, all the many front page into one template in FVS. So you can make it like the PowerPoint. So you can make it as an annual report or something. You can link it with your real data from the database and make the presentation to others or to your boss or to some other people. So this is the first main feature in FVS. And the second one is you can import a GeoJSON file and to generate a template for 3D city. So this is a second main feature. So we can get some GeoJSON from some open website, also or from some mapping company, and you can upload this GeoJSON file, and the FS will automatically identify all the elements in this file, and then build a grid model and render it to quickly build a 3D city. And then we can have another demo. We call it the FanRuan Smart Town. I have already opened it, and we can see there is a smart town. So it's a 3D model. We can rotate it. We can zoom in, zoom out with our mouse. Okay. Also, we can use the multi-page function. Okay. As you can see, with FS we can integrate the text, the title, the KPI, the 2D chart, the 3D model into one template. And you can put the 3D model as the background of this template, and see the partition information, the transportation, and lightning. Or some business you made by yourself. And we can open the rotate automatically. Okay, this is the second main feature in FS. And the third feature, main feature in FS is we can use a custom model template. if you have some 3D model from the or made by the 3D model design tools, for example, the Blender, the 3D Max, the 3D Maya, all the some other 3D model tools, and export it into the GLB format, and we can realize the independent 3D model effect through the component event and the data layer. And we can have a look at another demo. We called it the FanRuan Hospital. Yeah, also I have already wait a minute for the loading the 3D model. I think there are maybe some more 3D model designer, and you can have a test with some GLB format 3D model in FVS. So as you can see, there is a hospital model. This is the outpatient building and the inpatient building, and also we can rotate it. And you can zoom in and zoom out, and you can combine it with all the 2D charts and the title and some texture. We can also use the animation in the 3D model. For example, we can expand the building and to see each layer of this building. And also we can fold it. And also we can into the real building. For example, I want to see the inpatient building, and we can click the layer, and we will get the layout of each layer, and we can see every room and every equipment, and we can click the equipment and get the room, get the information. The fourth and the fifth and the sixth. Okay, and some other layer of the building. Yeah, this is the third major feature in FS. Okay, let's close it. Okay, after we have a look with some demo online, let's make some FS template. I think maybe after watching me operating in the FineReport Designer, I think you can do it by yourself. So the first step is you need to do the preparation for the plugin. So let's back to the FineReport Designer. Okay, you can click the server, the plugin management, and you will see the recommend, and you can put FVS in the search box, and you can see the FVS big screen, the version 1.14, and you can if there is no there is no this plugin in your FineReport Designer, you can click it and install it. Oh, I have already installed it. So after you get the plugin, you can click the fill and the new FVS report, and you will go into the create the blank area, and there is a canvas size. You can set by yourself the two type, the common size and the custom size, HD screen, VHD screen. For example, my computer is 1920 by 1080 pixel, so I can choose the VHD. Or if you are using some other screen, you can choose the HD or the 2K or the 4K or some other. If there is no, you can choose the custom size and write the real pics of your screen, the height, the width. Okay, give it a name. I just give it the name template 1 and create the template. Okay, this is the layout of the FVS designer. So back to the PowerPoint, I can give you an introduction. I put some number in these pictures. You can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Give you overview of the layout. The number 1 is the manual bar. You can see the fill, the template, the server, the help, and the second and number 2 is the fill area. There is all your template put in this area, and the number 3 is the data source. And if you want to link the data with your chart, you need to add the data set in this area. And number 4 is the title. You can see the title of this template. And number 5 is the operating bar, including the button for undoing and redoing the operations, and the grouping, ungrouping, the deleting and aligning component, and adjusting the component layers. And the number 6, this is for the previewing and saving. And the number 7 is the layer area. For example, by default, there is no the layer. You can click this button and get the layer. Okay, the number 8 is the component bar, including different components, and you can see the 3D, the chart, the text, the medium, the container, and the widget, and some resources. And the number 9 is the canvas area. It's what you can with drag and drop to add some component or some titles or some background that you can operate in this area. This is the canvas. And number 10 is the paging area. You can new the second page or third page or multi-page in this area. And number 11 is the canvas property area. You can adjust the canvas size, adaptation mode, and the scaling ratios. And the number 12 is the attribute area. All the configuration of the component can be configured in this area. Okay, if you want to make a FS template, I think maybe there are 3 main steps. If you want to make it, the first you need to do is design the layout. For example, like this. If you want to design template, you need to design the layout first, I think, for example, the title, this chart, the 3D chart, the 2D chart, and the KPIs. So to make your template professional. And then after you design the layout, and you need to configure the data, and then adjust all the style and all style in this canvas. And then you can configure the pagination. So next, I will give you the introduction, some small introduction of all the components. For example, the 3D chart, 3D city custom model is what I will tell you in later. And the chart, column, bar chart, the pie chart, line chart, and the giggle chart, the KPI card, and tree, and map, and the global, the scatter, the shapes, the Kanban, and the time, and some other, for example, the Gantt, the vertical tree. Okay, and the text you can use the rich text, the title, and table, and medium, the local, the monitor picture, and the container you can use the iframe, and the carousel, and the widget. Okay, and some resources. So that's all the components which will support in the FVS. Okay, give you an introduction of some basic of the component. For example, if we want to configure some component, we can, for example, I drag this column chart in the canvas, and you can see there are 4 tabs for this column, for this component. The first is the content. The second is interaction. The third is animation. The fourth is component. So in the first, in content, we can add the data. We can change the style. For example, the title, the legend, the label, the series, the X, and we can change the special effect of this column chart. And also we can use some interaction, for example, the click, event, and the refresh, and the animation between the multi-page and the component. You can see the component styles, the attribute. For example, I can give you some small text, some text with the column with the component style. For example, you can use corner radius, give a background. And change the opacity, and give the corner radius, for example, the 30. And then we will see some radius in the corner. And then, and also we can add some ground glass effect. For example, I want to add another, for example, this bar chart, and arrange it to the backward. And if I open the ground glass, and you can see the glass effect like this, or 20 or 50. Okay, this is the ground glass effect, and also you can add the reflection. Open the reflection, you can see the reflection in the canvas, and you can also add the shadow. For example, I give it Support the offset is 0, 0, blur is 10, and the range is 3. And okay. You can see there are some shadow. Yeah, you can see the shadow around this component. Okay, you can also adjust the component attributes. For example, the name, the size, the position, the pending, the 3D rotation, and the opacity of the component. And maybe you can have a try with yourself after this training. Okay, what we will do in this training, we can see the first I will give you quickly make the first FVS template. The second I will introduce you the linkage between the chart and table and chart and chart, and the linkage with object or the global component, and the 3D city and the custom model templates. Okay, let's begin with our first FS template. I can make a quick FS in a few minutes. For example, we can add some background first. Page my resources and choose the proper background for this whole template, and we can add the title and give it a name my first FVS template. And put it in the middle of the canvas, and the alignment use the center, and turn up the font size, for example, the 40. Okay, we can also give the component a border and choose the title border, and turn this background to proper size like this. Okay, this is the title for our first FS template, and some KPI chart or some map chart. For example, we can add the switching map first. And some KPI cards. We can adjust it quickly with our mouse, and we can copy it and paste. And also we can use the align to align in middle. Okay. And then we can add some column chart. For example, like this in the first FS template: column chart, bar chart, column chart, pie chart, line chart. Okay. Column chart. And the bar chart. And the pie chart. line chart and column chart. Line area, okay, this area chart. And another column chart. So, and also we can add some more component border for all the components. You can adjust the position, and we can give the border. For example, we all choose this border. In my resources, choose. Okay, and we can adjust the position to proper. Make it more professional. Okay. Okay, and then we can click the save. For example, we can make a folder first. Folder is training. Click OK and save it. And the training, we call it the template one. Save. Okay, and then we can preview. Maybe we can use Google Map. I think you maybe better with Google Chrome. Okay, you can see our first FVS template has already done. And then I want to introduce you the interactive attribute of the FVS. First, you can see the refresh. For example, we can click the one component and go into the interaction and refresh. We can turn on the monitor refresh. For example, if sometimes you want or you need the real-time data from the database because your business is for the real-time data. So you can open the monitor refresh within minutes or seconds. You can turn it and adjust the number of the interval. Okay, this is the monitoring. And there are also some click event. Also, if you use the carousel chart, for example, I click a new page. For example, if you use the carousel chart, for example, you can see the interval interaction. There is the carousel. You can change the interval between the multi configuration of this carousel chart. And also you can use the refresh, but there is no click event. So also you can use some click event for the normal 2D chart or 3D chart. I will give you some I will give you the two examples. The first example is the chart link to the chart and table. And the second is the linkage with object and the global component. So, okay, we can save this. We can close it, and we can new another FVS template. We can use the VHD screen and give it name for the template 2. Okay, first we need to add some data in the data site. For example, I will use the inner FR demo data site, this database with the SQL. Turn it to the FR demo and to this SQL. And we can see in this table the sales volume. This is the inner database. In designer, you can see the 5 data fields. The first is region, the second is the salesperson, the third is product types, the fourth is product, and the fifth is the sales volume. So we can use it for our test. And click OK and give it name. And DS1 is OK. And we can add a pie chart to display the comparison of the East China and North China. For example, we can choose in the content. We can add the data site. We can choose the DS1. The category we choose none, and the series we choose the region, and the volume we choose the sales volume, and the summary we choose the sum. Okay, then we will get the comparison between the East China and the North China. And then we want to, when we click the pie chart and the column chart and the table chart will all change. So we need to add another SQL, use the data site parameter. For example, add another, but use the same data table. And with this SQL, and I can give it default value, for example, East China. And preview, and then we can see all the East China, the data of East China will be filled. And click OK, and the name DS2. Okay, and then we can add the column chart. The column chart, and the data site we can choose the DS2. The category we can choose the salesperson, and the series we choose the product type. The value we choose the sales volume. Okay, and another table. We can edit it into the table editor. And then we can drag all these data fields into the table and give it some, for example, the region, and the sales person, and adjust the width of the cell. product type, and the product. Okay, I can zoom in of product and the sales volume. And also we can give them a border, make it in the center column, white, the border, click OK, and then back to the form, and then we can save it as template 2. But now when we preview it and click the pie chart, the column chart and the table chart will not change. Why? Because we have not set the interaction. For example, we can have a try. Preview it. Okay. We can preview it in, when I click the North China or click the East China, it will not change because I have not set the click event in the interaction. So next we can have test with the interaction, the click event. For example, when I click the pie chart, the column chart and table chart will be changed. Then we can click the click event and the component linkage. And we can use the global and give it name, for example, the linkage 1. And give it the parameter name. This parameter name need to be the same as the DS2. This you need to be the same as with the same parameter name, and then it will affect. Okay, we set the area component field. We choose the component field and choose the series name because we use the series as the East China and North China, and we click it. We want to pass the series name to the column chart and table chart. So we click OK, and we save it, and then we come back to the Chrome and we can click the North China and the column and table and East China. Okay, this is the picture of the interaction of the linkage between the component. We can use the chart to link to the chart and link to the table, and also we can use the table link to the chart and chart. So next, I want to give you the linkage with object and the global. When we use the parameters, maybe sometimes you want to use the parameter for only one component or some component, not all the global component. But sometimes you want to use the parameter to link all the component. How can we control the effect? We can use the interaction in this scope. Okay, we can add another page, and then we add two components, the column and the pie, in the canvas. Okay, the column and the pie. Also, I want to add another data site. The default the default value is North China. North China. So the chart will display the North China by default. You can click OK. And then we can add some data to the column chart. For example, we add we give the East China default value to the column chart. We choose the data site to salesperson, the product type, the value, and we can add a title or some other. You can choose. Maybe you can choose the title. With title, I want to give a name to click to link to specified component. For example, I want to click this and only change this column chart. And we can also give the data site of the GS3 return series. I choose the salesperson, the volume. Okay. When I click this, it only changes the column chart data. So save it. We can add the interaction and GS2 is the default number. The default value is East China, so we can give the click event component. Use the name linkage to and choose the object, and we can choose this object, the column chart, page 2. Okay, use the area and custom, and give the value is North China. Choose OK, and we save it. So the DS2 default value is East China, but when I click this component, it will change to North China. And refresh the page and turn to the second page. Okay, this is Sun Lin and Jing Shipeng and Zhang Shan. So you can click this, and we'll change it to Zhang Ying, the Wang Wei, and some other the North China value, but the pie chart will not change. Okay, I want to add another title, and when we click the title, the column chart and the pie chart will all change. So give it a name of click to link to global component. Okay, and then use interaction and the click event. For example, the component event, give it the link 3. And the scope we choose a global. And the parameter name is area. And the custom we choose East China. We click OK and save it. Also, we refresh this page, and then when we click this, it only changes the column data. But when we click the global component, it will change the pie chart. and the column chart. So this is the scope of the parameter. You can control it with the scope in the click event. Okay, this is how we use the linkage, the click event. And also there are some other click event. For example, the POW box, the web link, the JavaScript, the 3D component animation, and the page jump. I think maybe you can test by yourself because the time limited. And next, I want to show you is the widget. Give you a quick show of the how can the FS widget component effect. But I think maybe it's the same as the FRM, because we also have the widget in the FRM mode. So I think maybe we can do a quick issue of this. For example, I want to give a drop-down box of in this page, and we can choose East China and North China to filter the column chart and the table chart, and we can choose the widget and the drop-down box. Okay, we can give the data dictionary and use the data query and DS1, and the actual value and display value we choose the region. Okay, and save it. Also, we need to change the name of the this box to the area. We change the name the same as the parameter name. Remember, if you want to the widget or the click event to effect, you need to give it the name as same as the parameter name. Yeah, okay, and then save it. Also, we refresh this page, and then we choose the East China, choose the North China. Okay, this is how we can use the widget in FS. I think maybe it's the same as the FRM mode. So it's very, maybe it's very easy. Define it, bind it, and use the widget event. Okay, this is how we can use the linkage and the widget. Also, next I want to show you is the multi-page. As I have already shown you the annual report, the smart town, and the FanRuan hospital. So I think maybe you can understand the how the multi-page works. For example, this smart town, we can change between the multi-page and change between the this 2022 work report presentation, and then how we can use it. Just like this, you can add the new page. For example, click to get page 3, click to get page 4, the page 5. Every page is an independent dashboard, and you can use drag and drop to add the component, the title, the text, the text, and the linkage for the component, for the template, or for the pages. It's all independent. And because we have the multi-page, so there are some small transactions between the multi-pages. I want to show you there are 4 types of the small transaction. The first is component transition. component position transition, and the data transition, the position and data, and the component type and data. Okay, I will show you in next template. Okay, let's save it and close the template. And another FS dashboard called it template 3, and create the template. Okay. Also, we need to add some data, and we choose the same data table, the sales volume. And click OK. And we add only one chart to give the introduction of the small transition. For example, I give the data with the DS1. The category I choose the salesperson. Series is product types and the sales volume. Okay, the page 1, save it. Okay, the page 1, only this column chart. And we can add another 3 pages. 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and copy it. Copy the component to the. We can use the Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V in the keyboard, or we can use the right button in the mouse. For example, the copy and paste. For example, I use the copy and paste, and give it the different position with the first page, and we can see what will happen. But this time, I'm not open the small transition. We can see what will happen. Okay, the page 1, the page 2. It's just disappeared and appeared. So, we open the small transition between the first page and the second page. We can click save, and then we should refresh this template and see what will happen. And as you can see, there is a smooth animation between the 2 pages, from the first page to the second page, to the second page to the first page. Okay, this is same data and the same chart type, but different chart position in the between the multi-page and the small transaction effect. Okay, and the third page, we can copy it and paste in the third page, but we give it the different position and different data. For example, I choose the data to the region, the product type, and the salesperson, the sales volume. Okay, and we can save it. And we refresh from the first page. Okay, we need to open the small transition and refresh it from the first from the page 1 to the page 2 and to the page 3. If we will have the smooth animation between the same chart type but different position and different data. And the page 4, we give it different chart type and different data and different position. So we choose the DS1 category, the salesperson, sales product type, the sales volume. Save and open the transition. Now we opened all the transition in the 4 pages, and refresh the template. The page 3. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. If you add a new component, you need to. If you want the small transaction effect, you need to give it the same name. For example, I give it the same name. This bar chart name the same as the chart in the page 1, page 2, and page 3, and then the small transition will affect. Remember, the component need to use the same name, the component name. Okay, small transition. Refresh it, and then you can see the page 3 to the page 4. The chart will disappeared with the animation, and will appear with the new chart type and new data and new chart position. Okay. This is the multi-page and the small transition between the multi-page. Okay, next I want to give you some introduction of the 3D component. But I think there is also half time has passed, so I want to have a look with your attention, everyone's attention. If you are still watching the presentation, you can press the number 1 into the chat box. If you are not watch the presentation, maybe you can press the number 0. Let me have a look. Hello, everyone. Hello, anyone. If anyone are listening the presentation, maybe you can press the number 1 in the keyboard into the chat box. Yeah, number 1. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's continue with our 3D components. In the 3D components introduction, I will tell you the 2 components, the 3D city and the custom model. And I have already opened the dashboard for the 3D city and the custom model with the FanRuan Smart Town and the FanRuan Hospital. So maybe I think you have a quick understand about what the 3D city can do and can use in which scenarios, and the custom model. How can we use a custom model? So next, I want to we can do some templates with the 3D city and the component and the custom city custom model component. Okay, let's begin with first the 3D city. Let's back to the FineReport designer. Okay, we can close this template, and we can add another FVS report. For example, the import. We give it name the template for the screen. Okay. We can choose the 3D and the 3D city, and drag and drop to the canvas, and adjust it to fit the canvas. And also we need to the 3D city and the custom model is not edited in the canvas. It's edited in the 3D scene. So we need to add the component and into the 3D editor. This is the 3D editor, and we use the create scene, and there a pop-up box, and we can import the existing scene. For example, if you have made some the 3D city template, you can export it to a scene field, and you can give this scene field to another, and you can import with the existing scene. So just this time we just generate a new scene. So we can select the data, copy this, just select the data. This example, GeoJSON. This is a GeoJSON, one type of the JSON file. It's a JSON data in this field, and we can choose the style, the scientific, the simple, and just choose this first, and we can click the generate, and then after we upload this GeoJSON file, the FVS will help us to get all the elements in this field and generate all the buildings, all the grass, and all the rivers, and all the roads in this template. Okay, we can see we can see the model in the right tab. So we can click the model, and we can see the model list, the building, the street, the water and grass, and other some custom model. If you want to add some custom model, you can click the custom model and upload into the 3D city scene. Okay, for example, we can click the Tianhong Mall, and the Tianhong Mall building will be highlighted in the 3D model, and the Hengyu Square, and the Tianxiang building. Okay. But maybe there is for example, okay, maybe I know some someone asked me where to get the GeoJSON. I can give you some address for example, You can download the GeoJSON from some open map website in the GitHub or some website, for example, like this, HTTPS the overparse turbo this address. But the GeoJSON file is not that accurate. If you want to get the accurate GeoJSON file, you need to maybe you need to ask the national surveying mapping department. Yeah, or you can maybe you can buy some GeoJSON from some mapping companies. They are aiming to do the GeoJSON file, or you can get it from some open website, for example, the QGIS and some other mapping company. Yeah, I think. Or you can do the GeoJSON file by yourself. Yeah. So this is what we will do after we get the GeoJSON file, and we can generate the building and all the modeling in the 3D city. The scene, and in the scene, we can change the some environmental, some camera configuration, some image configuration. For example, the ground. If you want to change, you can change the color of the ground, and also you can change the ground to the base map. For example, we can use the 2D map combined with the 3D model. And you can see this is the map with combined with the 3D model. Also, there are some Chinese character. Also, you can use the custom tile layer. For example, you can choose the map box. If you do not know the map box map address, you can use the server the map data. For example, I can open it. You can get addressed with the FineReport decision-making platform, and you can go into the manage and open the map configuration and click the custom GIS layer, and you can have a look with the map box map tile layer. And the blue one, and the black one, and the fresh, and the midnight, and the satellite. Okay, we can choose maybe the blue one, and you can copy the URL. This you can copy it and back to the FineReport designer, and in the base map, you can use a custom tile layer, the URL, and paste the URL into this place, and wait a moment. The tile layer is changing. And then you will get the English version base map. Okay. And combine the 3D model with the 2D base map. And also you can change the height of all the 3D model, and you can change it to a proper size. For example, 100. Okay. It will look better. And you can use the particle system. For example, we can turn on the particle system, and we change the point of view. Okay. You can see the particles is flying in the sky. Okay, this is a particle system. And you can also use the shockwave. You can finish, and you can see the shockwave. And also you can open the soldering lines. Okay, like this. You can see this line. So it will maybe makes large screen, makes 3D model more vivid. And also you can change the camera. For example, the focus distance. This is like the attribute of the real camera. You can change it to change the focus distance. Yeah, like this. Like this. Yeah. Also, we can automatically do the focus. And also we can turn on the angle change. We can choose the proper rotation speed of the 360. Like this. Too quick. Okay, we can take it to a proper speed. Okay, that's what we get. And next, you can also change the image configuration, the MSA, the FXA, or some other, the bloom and the glow, and some other configuration. You can maybe you can do it yourself after this training. And also you can some data. Okay, let's open the. Let's turn off the rotation, and we can also we can add some data and some label with the 3D model. So maybe you can click the model and for example, I give it some value, some number to the Tianhong Mall, the Hengyu Square, the Tianxiang building, and the DB. We can choose the embedded data site, the first data fields name and value, the integer. Okay, and insert some rows. The first is Tianhong Mall B, and the Hengyu Square U, and the Tianxiang building. And in the data fields, the name needs to be same as the real model name, and this is how we can link the data with the model. They may be use the same name. Okay, we give the Tianhong 100, 200, and 300. We click OK and go to the data. We can add some data layer. For example, I want to use the model data layer. So we can click. I want to add the label at the top of the model on the surface. So we can choose the embedded model name, the content value, and then you will get a label on the top of the 3D model. And also you can change the scaling. For example, like this. Turn it up, turn it down, and you can turn it to a proper size. Also, you can change the color. Like this, you can change the color of the label and use the variable and the hover. For example, like this, with the mouse over, it will display the variable. Also, we can add some data alert. Alert. For example, I give the name alert 1, and the other condition, the content is the value less or equal to about 150 is okay, and the alert content we can use the red color for the alert, and you can change the scaling, the color, the display method. Click OK, and the 3D model will change the surface. The surface will change. Yeah. Also, we can change the surface by ourselves. For example, we can choose another model, like choose top building. Choose a proper building like this. We can change the surface. For example, the top surface like this. We can change to some other color. We can apply it to all the top surface, and we can choose the surface around building like this. Also, we can use the different UV. Use different UV. Yeah, we can change the attribute of the UV and this. Okay. And also we can apply to all the non-building. Okay, that's the configuration of the 3D city. We come back to the canvas. So we can save it as a 3D city. Also, if you want to have a try with combine the title, the 2D chart, and some other chart with the 3D city model, you can add the title and the chart directly into the canvas. For example, I give it a title, my 3D city. You can save it, align, font size, okay, and add some. You can add some 2D chart. Okay. Also, we can save it. You can use the preview. So we can copy it into the Google Chrome. And then we can see Okay. The title and the 2D chart is on the top of the 3D model. Yeah. Also, you can add some linkage between the 3D model and the 2D chart. You can add some other click event, for example, the component linkage and some others, but also use the same parameter name is okay. Okay, let's close this template. We can do another for the custom model. We can new another FVS template, for example, the giving name the custom model. And choose the VHD screen. And create the. Okay, we can choose the custom model in the 3D component and adjust it to fit the canvas size and edit the component. Also, we need to enter the 3D editor in the FineReport. We can generate an empty scene or import the existing scene. We just generate the empty scene and generate the scene. Okay, we have already generated the empty scene. This is 3D three things in the empty scene, like the skybox. This is skybox, and the ground and the light, like the sun, like the sunshine. Also, we can change it. For example, we can change the sunlight in the same time, maybe to the 15. And also we can change the skybox, for example, to the static. We can use some skybox. There are some built-in sites. We can use different skybox. The skybox can change the color of all the 3D scene. Yeah, like this. Or maybe we can add some. Maybe we can add some model first, and to see what will change between the skybox. Okay, let me add some model, and we can see the effect. The upload the new this and for example, there is a Valier custom model. The format is GLB. Yeah, you need to know the custom model need to be the GLB format, and we can upload it. We can see the layer. We can see the level. We can change the level of the 3D model, and click OK, and click the Valier GLB and finish it. Okay, we can see there is a Valier 3D model in the scene, and there are also some glasses. We can change the scene. First, we change the scene time, and we can see the shadow will be different with a different time. Okay, this is the scene time, and also we can change the skybox, like the static. We can choose some different skybox. Maybe a little different. Also, we can Also, we can change some environment light. The shrink, we can turn it up and turn it down to a proper value. And we can choose the default light, low, medium, the high, and it will depend the shadow of the 3D model. Use the low, you can see the shadow. Use the medium, use the high, and but it will need a high configuration of your computer hardware. So you choose the proper is okay. And we can also change the ground. For example, we can choose a different style. Like this. And also we can change the color of the ground. Also we can change the lines, the U and the V and the opacity. Okay. And we can also change the environment texture, and we can see from the window. You can see some from the window. I can change it. For example, choose the first one. You can see in the window. It will change. Yeah, like this. Okay, we can also choose the proper, because the environment texture will affect the model, the color in the model, because you are using different environment. Okay, that's the environment. You can click finish. Also, we can strengthen it. And also there is a fog in the 3D theme. We can open the fog. As you can see, there has already some fogs around the 3D theme, like this. We can turn the nearest fogs and the forest. So this is the distance of the fog. We can change it to a proper configuration. And also we can change the particle system and use the shockwave and use soaring lines to make our 3D scene more professional and more vivid. Also, we can change the camera, the image. Yeah, that's okay. Also, we can add some other. We can add more modules. For example, the factory. So the factory is too big, so we need to adjust it to a proper size. For example, the 0.5. Okay, it's also a little bigger. 10.2. Yeah, I think this will be okay. Into a different position. And we can also add some other models. For example, really talk the warehouse. Yeah, we can see the shadow, but so we need to adjust it. Warehouse, adjust it, 02. 02 is little small. Warehouse 05. Okay, give it a different position. Okay, so we can add more models in the 3D scene, in the custom model. Okay, now we can also add some data in the data layer. For example, give it also, we can use we need to use the name to find the data with the 3D model. So we use the embedded data site people design the username value. I just give someone quick example of it. The value 100. The factory 200. The warehouse 300. So all the data can come from the SQL, from the data tables of the data site of the data warehouse or some database. We can do it by ourselves. We can do it by ourselves, and we just add some data in data layer in the data site. Okay, model name and the content. We can scale it. Yeah, to like a proper size like this, and use the hover. Okay. Also, we can add some data alert, and if we use the data alert, if you can use the condition and change the color of the 3D model, the surface of the 3D model. We can turn to the editor. Okay, you can save it as a custom model FS. And we can also add some title. For example, the title my custom model. And give the font size 4K. And the center. And we can also some chart. For example, just two chart. You can save it and preview it. Okay, this is the custom model. And also we can use the small transaction between the custom model template. For example, if we can add the new page also, or maybe we can just copy the page, give it the name, give it the page name is oh, wait a moment. This is page 1, this is page 2, or we can just add it, give the first is the value. We give it the point of view to the value, and the second page we give it the factory, and we can copy another. The third page we give it the name of warehouse. And then we can turn the small transaction between the different pages. And because we use the same name of all the components, including the 3D model component, so there will be the small transition between the different pages. Okay, we take the first page, the point of view to the value. For example, the point of view in the, of the camera with value, and the page 2, we added the point of view to the factory. You can change the point of view with the mouse. For example, like this. And the page 3, we can also click the custom model component and use the small icon, the edit component. Also, we can use just adjust the component of view with this icon. For example, like this, adjusting the view angle. The second icon in the right of the component. Okay, we can use the mouse to change it. The point of view, for example, like this. In this point of view, at the point of view, okay. We can save it. And also we opened the small transition between the pages. So then back to the complete template. So the page 1, the point of view is the value, and the second, there will be a small transition between the different page of the custom model. The page 2 is the factory, and the page 3 is the warehouse. Okay, that's what we can do with the custom model component and the small transition between the in this template of the custom model. Okay, that's all the content about this presentation. Before we concluded, I would like to kindly ask you to take a few minutes to fill out a short questionnaire about today's presentation. And your feedback is very important to us and will help us improve our future sessions. The questionnaire will be available through the link in the chat box. In the chat box, you can see the link, and we would like to get your feedback, and it will be very helpful for us. Okay, that's all. Thank you all for your time and attention today. It was a pleasure to share my experience with you, and I hope you found this presentation informative and helpful. I appreciate you engagement and participation throughout the session. Once again, thank you for being here, and I salute you for your interest in this topic. Thank you. And after this training and class, you can have a try in your PC with the FineReport Designer and have a try with the FVS. You can use the multi-page design. You can use the 2D chart, 3D chart, and the 3D city, and the custom model. If you have fun with the 3D city or the custom model, I can share my materials. For example, the GLB, the GeoJSON, and some other materials to all of you. Yeah, that's all. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you all. Bye bye.